Hello, my name is Patrick Gunning, and you are currently tuned into What Am I Saying, a show which I talk about random things. Here on episode 8, I'm going to be talking about bullying is wrong. Bullying is a problem, and I'm no expert, and the following is based on personal experience and information that is currently available. And in the here in the episode, I'm going to be playing for you for the time being. I'm going to start the recording right now. Bullying is a form of abuse that one person or group of people does some sort of harm to another person or group on a repeat basis. Bullying is considered to be a form of crime and the type of criminal related behavior. Bullying can't just happen at school, but also at work, in the street, in the neighborhood, even at home, not just by the people who are connected by certain places, but by family members as well. Bullying can cause harm and serious injury to anybody, but more importantly, to their mental health as well as well their well-being too. The person who commits bullying would do anything not to take any form of responsibility for their actions, and they would try and avoid any form of punishment or responsibility for their own actions. If they can't get out of punishment, they would see this as a slap on the wrist and not take much notice and go back to continuing bullying as normal. The reaction to the bully after being reported for their behavior, then they would go after the person who reported them and continue to cause more problems towards them. The bullies would view their victims as nothing, is not to have any form of rights that were given to them like everyone else, and the bullies themselves would do anything to try and violate the victim's rights and get away with it. Why people who bully other people is trying to insert fear for the purposes of being amusing to them, but also having power and control over another person, but also making others believe that they have a reputation of being a tough person image, and making them look popular than other people. Bullies think that their victims should not have the same privileges that everyone else has, simply that the victims themselves had worked hard in order to have those achievements. The type of bullying ranges from name calling, rumors, gossip, teasing, taking the victim's belongings and using them without their knowledge, and in some cases have their belongings being damaged too. Bullying would also get their victims into a fight which they didn't want to get into in the first place, and exposing them to dangerous situations. The victims of many would not want to report the abuse and harassment in fear of even more harm from the people themselves, as well as their friends and even some of their family members who are bullying them. Bullying is linked to people committing suicide due to repeated ongoing abuse that the victim receives on a regular basis. What bullies go after their victims is because they are part of a group by choice or no choice of their own, having a lifestyle by choice or having something it could be life-threatening if exposed. There are many reasons for why people bully other people, and the reasons include bullying public but also in privacy as well, maybe also bullying other family members or people who are close to them and getting them blamed for all the things that the bully themselves had done. Bullies will have friends who also bully other people and help them and help cover for them, as well as help them get out of facing any form of responsibility. Bullies will have friends that will help them get out in covering up their tracks, so the abuse would still continue to their victims. Bullies will not follow any rules that they are given to them because they think they have a right to break those rules and get away, while as a result cause other people to have problems because of it. Bullies will make false statements or do anything to direct the blame to other parties that would get them in trouble for no fault of their own. The bullies would try to play or blame the victims themselves to try and get attention away from their actual victims to have for themselves. A bully would try to distract their victims from doing a task and still distract them even after, when the victim is ignoring them, or tell to cut their annoying behavior out, which they still continue. Ignoring does little to stop bullying, but the bullies themselves would do anything to try and cause even more harm to their victims. The bully would not think about the consequences for their actions, which result in other people having problems because to that. Bullying can result in having fights with another individual due to repeated behavior, resulting in another party reaching breaking point. If the bullies get caught red-handed committing their crime, they would try and do anything to avoid taking responsibility for their actions and continue with their abuse and breaking the rules. The bullies would try to convince others that their victims had committed a crime that they didn't do, and they are lying about it. Bullying would result in their victims not only for them to have problems and continue with it, but also have them hit breaking point. The reason for why bullies bullying other people may have to do with their own personal as well as their private life, or they might be a victim of bullying themselves and they see this behavior as being normal to them and doing it to others as a result. Bullying is not only just abusive, or not only just being abusive, but it's also harmful to their victims who experience firsthand as well. I have to say that the show has come to the end for the time being, and in the next episode of What Am I Saying, I'm going to be talking about help stop bullying, and in this is what I'm going to be calling part 2. So stay around for that, and for the time being, I see you guys later. The following production has been written, edited, presented, and produced by Patrick Gunning and copyrighted in 2023 by Patrick Gunning, or PFGUN0 for short.